course, be sure that the nitrifying bacteria was added directly to the substrate before the addition of water to the tank. We've also ensured that the proper filtration for your tank size and dimensions have been chosen and assembled according to the directions that came with it and placed in the desired position, but not yet plugged in. We've appropriately mixed the salt water or purchased it at the appropriate salinity of 1.020 to 1.023. We've also been sure to measure it with a hydrometer with no visible air bubbles, and then added it to the tank until the tank is half to 3/4 of the way full. Desired decorations have been rinsed and placed in the tank, achieving a unique look determined by the owner. We're almost done, but not quite yet. The water level is then topped off, salinity is once again tested, and the proper water conditioners and more bacteria are added. Finally, heating and filtration units are plugged in and primed if necessary. And make sure that the proper temperature gauge is in place and working. Now, patience is a virtue. The only thing that you have to do now is wait. You want to wait approximately 24 to 48 hours before adding the fish to your aquarium. This will allow enough time for your water temperature to stabilize and the water conditioner to mix completely inside the tank. It will also allow the filters to turn the water a couple of times so as to assure proper mixing. Once 24 to 48 hours have passed and all looks well, you are ready to add your fish. The recommended saltwater fish for cycling a tank are called damsels. Damsels are a hardy saltwater fish that can usually withstand the fluctuations in water quality that occur while cycling a tank. There are different species of damselfish, and whichever kind you choose are completely up to you. It is recommended that you add one fish for every 5 to 10 gallons of water. For example, a 15-gallon tank would be cycled with no more than 2 fishes, where a 50-gallon tank can be cycled with 5 to 10 fish. Adding too few fish in the beginning will make the cycling of your tank take a long time, where adding too many fish in the beginning will cause an ammonia spike so severe that it may kill all the starter fish. Finding a medium is the key to a successful aquarium. The average length of time for cycling a tank is approximately 4 to 6 weeks. It is expected that you will lose some of the starter fish. This is okay. Just make sure to promptly remove any dead fish from the aquarium. If dead fish are left in the aquarium, they will cause the waste levels in the tank to rise more quickly than desired. Once you bring your fish home, you will want to float them in the tank while still in the bag for at least 20 minutes. This will allow time for the temperature of the water inside the bag to acclimate to the temperature of the water inside the aquarium. You never want to just put fish directly into the aquarium without giving them time to acclimate to the difference in water temperature. This will cause unnecessary stress and possibly death to your new fishes. Once 20 minutes has passed, the next step will be to acclimate the fish to any possible salinity differences in your tank. The easiest way to do this is to open the bag and pour a small amount of your tank water into the bag. Again, allow the fish to sit for a couple of minutes. You may do this as many times as needed, depending on how delicate the species of the fish are. The more delicate the species, the more time it will need to acclimate. For damselfish, just one addition of the tank water should be enough. You may also ask the store where you purchased your fish what salinity they keep their tanks at. This will give you an idea of the difference between the two. A quick note, the salinity of the two systems should be within 0.002 of each other. Once you are sure that the fish are acclimated, you may add them to your tank. It is recommended to use a small net to scoop the fish from the bag and gently release them into your tank. Don't release the fish directly from the bag. This will release the water from the bag into your tank as well, which may contain concentrated wastes produced by the fishes during the stressful travel. Once you have successfully added your fish, you may place the glass top or hood light onto the aquarium. It is recommended to leave the aquarium light off for at least 1 hour. During this time, you want to leave the light on in the room. That way, a small amount of light is still reaching the tank so that the fishes can see easier. This will give the fish enough time to become aware of their surroundings and find adequate hiding spots before being put under the aquarium light. Now you get to sit back and enjoy. Once your tank is completed and the starter fish have been added, you will not want to add any new fish for a minimum of 4 to 6 weeks. This will give the water in your tank enough time to cycle. The cycling of a tank occurs in phases. During the first week to week and a half, the ammonia levels in the tank will rise. This is due to the input of waste into the aquarium. When you first start a tank, the water is pure and untainted. But when you add the fish, they produced waste, causing an influx of ammonia into the tank. During this time, it is important to add more nitrifying bacteria to the tank. It is this bacterium which will help to process the ammonia. The bacteria will convert the ammonia to nitrate. Nitrate levels will spike by approximately the end of the second week to the beginning of the third week, depending on how fast the tank is cycling. After the nitrate levels rise, they will then begin to slowly fall as the bacteria levels in the tank increase and establish their colonies. Before your nitrate levels begin to fall, you will notice an increase of nitrate, which is the final product in the nitrogen cycle. As your nitrate levels begin to drop to a safe level, the tank should be cycled. Once the cycle is complete, you may do a water change to remove any excess nitrate that is present in your aquarium. As time passes, you will see your tank's water level drop due to natural evaporation. When adding water back into the aquarium because of this reason, you will want to add fresh water, but still conditioned with chlorine remover. The reason for this is while water evaporates, salt does not. So by adding fresh water, you will once again bring the tank to the desired salinity. It is always recommended to test the salinity of a tank before and after any water removal or addition. Now that your system is up and running, we want to give you a schedule of general routine maintenance tips that will help keep your aquarium beautiful and your aquatic life happy and healthy. You will want to be sure that your aquarium has completed cycling before starting regular maintenance. Usually 3 to 4 weeks after you've completed the setup portion of this video, at which point you will perform your first gravel vacuuming and 25% water change. It is a good idea to wipe down the entire inside of the glass or acrylic before you begin your water changes and gravel cleaning. You can use an algae pad, which is available at your local aquatic retailer. You will need to get your cleaning siphon, or as more commonly known, your gravel vacuum apparatus, and your fish-only bucket. As we mentioned in previous sections, your fish-only bucket should be a new 3 to 5 gallon plastic bucket that is only used for water changes in your aquarium and has not ever been used for anything else, which may have contaminated the bucket and could be toxic to your new tank. Follow the directions that came with your gravel vacuum to get the siphoning started. Once the siphon action is going, slowly move the siphon up and down through the gravel so that it can pick up the loose particles and waste trapped in the gravel. Be careful not to move the siphon around too vigorously. This will kick up debris into the aquarium instead of allowing the siphon to remove it. You will want to change the locations of the gravel vac often to be sure that you are covering as much of the gravel as possible before the water level gets too low. As a general rule of thumb, you only want to remove up to 25% of the water at a time in the tank when you gravel vac. The dirty water that is removed during this process can be disposed of out in your yard or flushed down your sink or toilet. Depending on what size your aquarium is, you may have to dump out your bucket a few times. Be sure to thoroughly rinse the bucket of any debris before refilling with fresh, clean water. When refilling your tank with clean replacement water, be sure that the water is dechlorinated and is adjusted as close as possible to the temperature of water that is already in the tank. This will help prevent your fish and other aquatic life from a possible shock effect from the new water. You will want to perform this gravel cleaning and water change process at least once a month. It is also a good idea to consult your local aquarium store for their recommendations on the frequency of water changes required for your particular tank setup. Be sure when you're cleaning your glass or acrylic on the outside of your tank that you don't use any product that contains non-environmentally friendly chemicals or toxins. These products easily overspray and contaminate the water in your aquarium. The same rules hold true for when you're doing general cleaning or dusting of your aquarium stand, light fixtures, and aquarium decor. Be sure to read the directions that come with your mechanical filtration and perform the general maintenance and filter media maintenance, such as carbon changes and cleaning, as recommended by the manufacturer. Double-check your electrical connections regularly to make sure that the cords are completely plugged in and that they have not become frayed or tangled with other equipment. At this point, performing these regularly scheduled maintenance duties is the very most important thing you can do to ensure your happiness and success with your new aquarium.